Low protein content in wheat is never your fault, but it's a problem you might have to deal with. Maybe the soil was depleted with low nitrogen content. Maybe there was cold weather and heavy rain during the milk stage of the wheat, causing the starch levels to rise. Maybe there was damage from cereal bugs early in the wheat's development. Or perhaps it was just a weak grain crop. For your mill, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that consequences of low protein content in the grain mean loss of profits and additional costs. Hi, I'm Logan Churchman from the Grain Improvers team. We make natural enzyme complexes that can solve this problem and do even more for your mill. But first, what exactly might you have to deal with when it comes to low protein grain, and how can we help you maximize the extraction and preservation of protein in its natural hypoallergenic structure? For once in the milling industry, we can call something a truly simple concept. Less protein, less profit. Simply because the protein content determines both the quality and the quantity of your flour. Working with low protein wheat results in protein deficient flour, which is less valued by bakers. In simple terms, it's just weak. At the same time, if the grain is small, you'll see high ash content, loss of color, accelerated equipment wear, and increased electricity costs per ton of output. You could try to pay your way out of it, using gluten, emulsifiers, and other additives, or incurring extra costs by adding more expensive grain to the batch. Even then, the flour quality will be, at best, average. Such a complex, heterogeneous milling batch will be quite difficult to process, and the problems don't just stop there. For bakery producers, it means less water absorption during dough mixing, resulting in limited production. For pasta manufacturers, it's loss of rigidity during pressing and uneven drying, all resulting in micro cracks, especially if we're talking about spaghetti. So, as you can see, there is a load of issues, all because of low protein. And how can you prevent all these problems and preserve the natural composition of the flour? The solution is Grain Improvers Smart. It's a natural enzyme complex that you add to the grain during the conditioning stage. It will help to fully unlock the potential of grain, even the most problematic kinds, and maximize the extraction of peripheral protein during milling. Grain Improvers help extract protein from the sub-aileron layer between the endosperm and the bran. This layer is typically lost in the sifting, but we can save it and make sure the maximum possible concentration of the beneficial parts of the grain is actually used in your flour. That thin sub-aileron layer has, on average, a 54% higher protein concentration than the endosperm itself, so you'll notice the difference from the very first batch. Finally, Grain Improvers leave no trace in the flour. We keep it natural and, at the same time, save your mill's budget, regardless of the circumstances. Yes, low protein content in grain is a challenge, but we can find the best solution together. Book a consultation with Grain Improvers and we will help make your mill's operations more stable and efficient, even if you are dealing with problematic grain.